Like, but no, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. You get to come here and hang out and talk to you guys a little bit. So I'm going to start off with an exercise. Not exercising. You don't have to leave, JD. Like I saw JD getting ready to get up. Like, I ain't exercising. But we're going to start with an exercise, and I know that you're really excited. I know, Carmen, that's the reason that you came, that you got up. You went through the rain, the storm to get here to church because you're like, I got to do the church exercise. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to take, if you're right-handed, you're going to take your right index finger. If you're left-handed, the left. But you take, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to do right. Take that, and you're going to pretend that it's a Sharpie marker, okay? Now you're going to take the other hand. You're going to hold it. Now, this is what I want you to do, and this is pretend, Cody. Don't do it for real. But you are going to write a capital E on your forehead. And for those, hold on, we're not started yet. Because I have a feeling there's some of you that don't know what a capital E is. We got a picture of it just to show you, just for reference. All right, go. All right. Take your marker, put it back in your pocket. Do not leave those here. Now, if you participated, there are two ways that you could have wrote an E, a capital E, on your forehead. Can we show the two ways? Now, you could have wrote it like this or like this. You could have either wrote it, and this is like a psychology experiment. You could have wrote it where you're reading it yourself in your mind, you're the one that's reading it. Or you could have wrote it where if somebody was standing looking at you, they could read it. And I looked and I watched. They're both first service and second service. And I found it interesting because I've never done this before. I didn't make this up. This is actually a real activity that they do, a psychology activity. But I watched, and there's probably about an equal amount of people that did this. And what they say is it tells you a lot about yourself. Because some of us, we constantly see the world from our mind's view, from our perspective, from how we see things. And if you wrote it that way and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I did it wrong, no, there's no wrong way to doing it. Because then there's some of us that we look at the world wondering, what do they think about me because of this? And I'm going to tell you, both ways can be very toxic. So I'm going to talk about joy today, but I was thinking about this, and what if joy is just the art of knowing when to reverse the E? Because there's times in your life that you need to see things from your perspective. And then there are times when you need to see it from someone else's perspective. But too much of one or the other can be dangerous, can be toxic. So that's what we're going to talk about. The title of my message is, and I want to welcome you guys too, because that's what I'm calling this, Joy Mongers. Joy Mongers. I don't seem too excited about that. Glad you asked that, Brian. What does mongers mean? Anybody? Like, what do you think about when you hear the word mongers? Don't Google it. Just tell me. What do you think about? Cody. Hey, hold on. One person raised his hand. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Cody.
Somebody who either causes or pervades in that emotion. Think like fear mongering, something that causes or intends to spread fear.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? What'd you say? A gather?
Like fishmonger?
Okay. Okay. Cece?
Somebody that operates in something specific.
Okay.
Go after that specific thing.
Okay. A what? A happy what? A happy pig is a monger. A happy pig. What school you go to? A lot of times when you hear the word monger, we do see it negatively because it's been portrayed that. Fear monger, right? Drug monger. War monger. Ramel, you're going to like this. Yesterday, I asked my beautiful wife what she thought when she hears the word monger. You know what she said? I don't know if I should say this in church. She said, when I hear the word monger, I think whoremonger. Miss Denise, she needs Jesus. Susan, don't stop praying. We're almost there, the breakthrough, I can feel it. But most of us, when we hear mongers, we think of something negative. So what I want to do, I want to flip the script today. Because, see, mongers actually means, the definition of a monger is a dealer, trader, or distributor. So how about if we make the decision today that we're going to be the type of people that deal in and distribute joy? How about if joy becomes the currency that we spread and it just saturates everybody around us? I wonder if we'd see change in the people around us and ourselves and the way we see things. Yeah. Let's be those people. Let's be those people. So, joy mongers. You guys with me? Yeah. Anybody want to be a joy monger? Yeah. All right. We're going to order the t-shirts. Now, I understand this because I am sure, Joe, that you're wondering, where did this message start? I'm going to answer that. It started in Publix. Where else? So I was in Publix a while back, and I was checking out. I was in the line to check out, and in walks this dude who, get this, he was wearing shorts that looked like they were from 1984, neon tank top, black dress socks, fluorescent sneakers, and a bowling bag. Like, what do you do when you need a Publix sub? Say, I got to get dressed. So what am I going to wear? Fluorescent green tank top. All these shorts that I had since 1984. Dress socks. And Asics neon green tennis shoes. You start to walk out the door and you think, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Bowling bog bag. And this guy walks into Publix beaming. Like he knows something the rest of us have not figured out yet. And I thought to myself, apparently, there are less rules than any of us ever thought there were. Because this guy, he wasn't worried about what people thought of him. He was in the right now. He was in the present. See, here's the thing about joy. Joy does not show up usually in perfect conditions. Sometimes joy shows up in dress socks and confidence. It says, let's go. Let's start the day. And maybe, you hear that all the time. It's like, I have not experienced joy. I don't feel joy. I don't see joy. I've heard people say this. I heard it not too long ago. It said, I can't wait until the Christmas season because it's the only time I actually experience joy throughout the year. And I thought, man, that is such a shame because, see, joy's all around us. We just have to notice it. Usually we're in our minds thinking of the past or thinking of the future, and we can't enjoy the right now and the joy that's in it right now. And I got to admit, though, when you start looking for it and noticing it, the world keeps giving us more and more material. This was a study, just came out, 2025. This is brand new information. Brian, don't fall asleep because you're going to want to know this. Brand new. You are getting up-to-date stuff today. Amy, up-to-date. I'm not giving you 2024 stuff. Scientists just came out with this discovery because of climate change. Spiders are getting bigger. Not only bigger, they're becoming faster. And they require less food. This is true. You can look it up. So apparently, Bernie, the apocalypse is not coming with fire and ice. It's coming with giant spiders wearing sunscreen. Who would have thought? See, joy sometimes is laughing at the absurdity of it all. There's a survey done. And Ken, this may not surprise you, but it did me. 1 out of 4 people on their first date take their dog. 1 out of 4. 25% of the people in the world, when they go out on a date for the very first time, they take with them a furry accountability partner. They're like, this better go well. Because Rufus, he's a biter. See, joy is not always deep. Sometimes joy is just noticing the world, how weird and how wonderful it is, and making the decision to smile anyway, even when things don't seem to be going that good. So I work with this guy that he was telling me a story about his daughter. His daughter just became old enough to sit in the front seat. And which I don't know, probably like, 11 or 12. So first day, she was all excited. First day, he's taking her to school. She gets to sit in the front seat. She opens up the glove compartment box. And she says, Dad, who put books in the snack box? He says, well, honey, it's not a snack box, it's a glove compartment. Why is it called a glove compartment? Because we put Actually, I don't know. So, well, what's this book? Well, that's the book, that's the owner manual to the car. See, if the car breaks down, then I'm going to take that book, I'm going to read it, and I'll see how to fix the car. He says that he looked at his daughter, and he realized she wasn't buying it either. And he says, you know what, baby? I think snack box is a better name for it. Maybe that's what joy's about, is looking at things and having the permission to rename it and to reclaim it. And not always having to follow what everybody says, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Maybe that's in the joy. Just sitting back and realizing it's all sacred. It's all holy. See, a lot of people think the opposite of joy is sadness, but it's not. You know what the opposite of joy is? Anybody? No, it's not sadness. I actually just said that. The opposite of joy isn't sadness. It's right here at the line I said right before. The opposite of joy is actually cynicism. Cynicism. That's right. I knew I was going to mess up that. Cynicism. Because, see, cynicism is easy. It's lazy faith. I mean, it doesn't risk anything. I mean, if you're always thinking of everything being negative, well, that gives you permission to not even try. If you constantly catch yourself saying things like, yeah, people are awful. Or, the world is falling apart. Or how about this one? Nothing matters. See, cynicism, it never builds anything. You know what it does? It mocks. It sits in the corner and smirks, makes fun of. Maybe that's why joy feels so rare these days. Because real joy, it takes courage. Real joy takes work. It takes showing up. So I'm going to tell you two stories. I know, you're only expecting one and you're going to get two. We over-deliver here at Fairlawn. Two stories that both come from the same era, the same time. I'm going to take you back 1930. Germany. And there's this lady named Gertrude. And she's a school teacher. And actually, in fact, before 1930, 1929, Gertrude was one of the first groups of women that signed up for the Nazi Women's Organization. Now, I know we think Nazi, we think, man, terrible people, which rightfully so. But see, Gertrude didn't join because She was hateful. She joined because she was tired. Because she believed that her country could feel proud again. Because after World War I, Germany was in shambles. After World War I, they had no allies, they had no friends, they had nobody looking out for them. Their economy was in the dumps. And then became this movement that promised happiness and promised change. Not just change, but change back to how it used to be when everybody was happy. Yeah, has there ever been a time where everybody's happy? No, but a lot of times we see the past with rose-colored glasses. So, decades later, Gertrude sat down for an interview and she said, when her Jewish colleagues started disappearing, she just said, that's politics. And then when her Jewish students stopped coming to class, in her mind, she just said, they moved. As she sat for this interview, she says, we simply didn't ask questions. We were finally happy again. And we didn't want to lose that. That's how it happens, isn't it? Not through hate, but through comfort. The fear of losing the comfort and the happiness that we have. The next story, same time period, same place in Germany, 1930s, there was this little church that sat by the railroad tracks. Every Sunday at a certain time when they started to sing their hymns, a train would go by. And that train was carrying Jewish men, women, and children, taking them off to the camps. And when that train would go by, as they were singing their hymns, they could hear the cries, the pounding of the train walls, and the yells for help. So what did this church do? They sang louder. Because they couldn't stop the train. But they could drown it out. They could ignore it. Decades later, one of the members of that congregation said, to this day, when I hear the sound of a train go by, I can still hear the cries. See, that's what happens when we trade empathy for apathy. This is what happens. It doesn't start with hatefulness, and it doesn't start quickly. It starts slowly. It starts by dividing the world. Them and us. And believing the worst about people that we never met. And here's the thing, these days we're not building camps, but we're building categories.
Amen.
We're labeling people. Conservative, liberal, woke, MAGA, anti-this, pro-that. And here's the thing. The moment we say them. We stop listening. And it's easy to look at someone and say, man, how could they make that decision? How could they do that? How could they ever vote this way? How could a Christian ever side with that person? Oh, it's easier than you think. You want to get someone to think irrational. Oh, it's easy. You can get them to buy into it. All you got to do is say, it's them and it's us. And they are coming to take this away from us. And immediately, they're the enemy. And when we're trying to control that happiness and control all of these things, eventually we're going to start thinking irrational. And it's going to be about who can stop them from taking this away from us. Well, they don't even know that you have that, but you bought into that they're coming to take away from us. There may be some of them that think they're a part of us, but no, they're not. And we start thinking irrational. See, cynicism is lazy. It stops halfway through the story. It's saying they're hopeless. And see, we may not be singing louder, but often we're posting louder. Often we're scrolling louder, arguing louder, just to drown out the noise. But you see, joy keeps walking in the mess. Joy is not about avoiding the mess, because joy usually starts in the mess. And some of us, we have so much fear that has built up because we think everybody's against us, everybody's trying to take us. So what we've done is we have went out and got a guard dog, and we have this guard dog protecting our happiness and protecting all of these things, protecting our mind. We make all these excuses for this guard dog, and I'm not against some things you need to guard yourself against, but we take this guard dog, and what happens a lot of times, if we're not careful, that guard dog starts to become your jailer. And what I'm proposing to you today is you may, before you leave here, ask Jesus to retrain your guard dog. Joy doesn't ignore the pain. It's born in the middle of it. Which brings me to these ancient Hebrew writings that I found. And it's actually ancient Hebrew poetry. It's this book called Ecclesiastes. You could buy it. They're still making it. And I got a picture of it, Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 2. And the writer of this, he starts off with probably what you would call the worst motivational speech ever. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. Starting off strong. What does he mean by this? Everything is meaningless. Well, the word meaningless, as this is an ancient Hebrew poetry and written in ancient Hebrew language, the word that they use that has been translated to meaningless is actually this word called Havel. Hevel. And what it means is vapor or mist. Y'all see that? Like, it'd be bad if y'all couldn't. Y'all be like, what is Jimmy doing up there with his Wonder Woman gun? It's just vapor. So, in other words, what the writer of Ecclesiastes is saying is, hey, life, it's all vapor management. Because, man, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Like, life is here right now. But then it's gone the next minute. And here's the thing with vapor. Like, you can feel it. You can feel the vapor, but you try to reach out and grab it, it slips through your fingers. It's there 1 minute, it's gone the next. And if you don't stop and enjoy the present, regardless of where you are in life, it's going to slip through your fingers. Because joy is in the right now. Maybe right now you're looking at your life and you're like, man, it's right now, like, it looks like the bottom's about to fall out. But see, happiness is not the same thing as joy. And we look at this and it's meaningless, and we're like, man, the writer of Ecclesiastes, he must be depressed. He wasn't depressed, he was honest. Life's fragile. Stop pretending it's not. You ever meet somebody and they're just always negative? Like, they always can find they can complain about everything. They go to McDonald's and they always short me of my fries. They never give me enough pickles. Patty, 1 pickle, that's all they give me. Sometimes half a pickle. Go to Applebee's. Yes, for sweet tea, they bring you unsweet tea. Go to Golden Corral. They bring out the water. I guess they don't have any lemons. And they see the negative in everything. Anybody know anybody like that? If you don't, I'll let somebody else tell you. But I'm going to give you guys a challenge. Skylar, you might want to write this down. Good, you got your phone out so you can put it in the notes. I know you're taking notes in the notes section. So, the next time you're with that person and they're just negative, listen to them and then stop and go, oh no, my friend. It's way worse than that. We're all going to die. That's true, right? It's way worse than that. Maybe we just start noticing the little things. Get this. You're going to like this, Gary. They found, this is 1990s, all right? This is information that I did not get until recently, but it was discovered in the 90s. And I feel a little gypped. But in the 1990s, they figured out that there was a way to make flowers grow and stand up straight. This little blue pill, maybe you heard of it, it's called Viagra. If you take that pill and you put it in water, and then you put flowers in that water, they will stand straight up. You can't make this stuff up. It's true. You can't. Violet, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make this up. And get this. They also found that not only do they stand straight up, the flowers live on average a week longer. Now, I don't know this. Ken, I don't know this. This is true about people. I'm going to go out and buy a whole bunch of Viagra. I can live longer. It's for flowers. I don't know the study's been done on people. But how can you get that kind of information and not have somewhat of joy? Just like, it's absurd. It's crazy. It makes no sense to my head. But that's what joy is, just sitting in the wonder and the mystery of it all. Hebrews 12:2. It says this, it says, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. Obviously, this is talking about Jesus, but he said, for the joy set before him. You know what, my friends? There was no joy in being beaten. There was no joy in being spit upon. There was no joy when those nails pierced his hands. And there was no joy in those nails piercing his feet or being hung on that cross. But the Bible says the joy set before him. See, the joy started before he even made his way to the cross. The joy was set on the outcome of the cross. The joy was set on you being right here, right now. So maybe the best thing you can do right now is make that decision to notice the joy in it all. See, joy don't erase the hurt, but it reframes it. Amen. It's like joy is the art of noticing, seeing God hiding in plain sight. Heath, did you know TSA has an Instagram account? Their own Instagram account. Now, you're probably wondering the same thing. Why does TSA have an Instagram account? Somebody asked this, and this was their response. I don't know, Kyle. Why do your friends keep bringing stuff they shouldn't in their carry-on? All right. And then they showed us that people ask some crazy things. How about this one? Can I bring my kettlebell with me? Can I have a kettlebell in my carry-on? Thanks for reaching out. Although weights aren't specifically listed as a prohibited item in carry-on bags, our officers may not allow them past security. If they present a security concern or cause an alarm, we recommend transporting your kettlebell in checked bags. Ruth, next time you fly and you want to take your kettlebell, remember that. Well, how about if you want to take a cheese grater with you? Good question, Angie. Cheese graters are allowed in carry-on bags. And then some people send photos of what they're bringing. And listen, our tax dollars are paying for somebody to manage the TSA Instagram account. You don't find any joy in that? I find a little bit. How about this one? Sometimes people send photos to Ask TSA asking us, can they travel with certain items? Yeah, we have answers, but we also have questions. How about this one? About taking medically necessary things. We got that one? Nope, not that one. Next one. Please let our officers know if you have medically necessary items that can't be removed so they can accommodate your screening. Oh my gosh. They took it up a notch. TSA's got jokes. And sometimes they do something. You know, anybody says, man, I got a boring job. I hate my job. Maybe it's boring because you let it be boring. Like this guy, hey, Stephen, you're gonna manage the TSA Instagram account. I don't even got my own Instagram account. I don't know how to use Facebook. No, you're gonna do it. All right. Can't do anything else. And then our friend Stephen's like, oh yeah. And when somebody asks, and it is a little aggravating because you don't, like toothpaste. Like what size toothpaste? So here's this one. Somebody holds up this sign. Let me bring toothpaste on my flight. Security agent, toothpaste on a plane, 3.4 ounces or less is good to go. Now, you think that's funny. Check this out, though. TSA. That's no Rembrandt of a sign. You put that sign like a crest on your head and got all Sensodyne about toothpaste. Glean this info. Just make your Colgate 3.4 ounces or less and carry on. You'll be feeling aqua fresh on your flight and at your destination. Yes! Stephen for the win! Our buddy Stephen went home that night. Looked his wife into the windows of her soul and said, baby, I batted 1,000 today. I was on fire today. Just go on Instagram, look at TSA's account. And then a few years ago, there was this flyer of this missing dog. People are serious about the dogs, right? Layla Harmon. She's like our child. If found, non-GMO biscuits only. Huge writing reward. Desi, I wanted to find this dog so bad. And then call the number. Say, hey, Layla's over here. She loves Doritos. She is on her 3rd bag right now. You got to see this. Cutest little cheese mustache right now. Becky, for less than $50, you can go on Amazon right now, and you can buy this jacket. It's made out of mirrors. Diane, mirrors. You know, some of you can see yourself in that jacket. I had to do that joke. I know it's cheesy, but you would too if you had that opportunity as a setup there. Sometimes joy is not the big moment. Sometimes you can find it in the small moments. If you're going through it right now and you're like, my life sucks, maybe you're just not looking hard enough to see the joy in it all and see the sacredness of the joy. You ever know those people? I stood in line forever. No, you didn't, Tommy. You stood in line for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And then there's those moments. There's those moments when you're like, this is what it's all about. This is a good time to start playing because this is really going to hit home right here. So just make it something really spiritual. And you've experienced those moments. Sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes we remember the moments where just disaster took place. Or we remember the moments like nothing ever works out for me. Nothing? I mean, you're here. This is what's funny. I've never heard one person say, you know what a life-changing moment was for me? That vacation in Hawaii. Life-changing. From that point on, my life was so different. So much growth. No. You know what I hear? It was through the heartbreak. It was through I planned, I organized, I worked so hard. And still lost everything. I worked on a relationship so much, and I loved them so much, and they still left. I gave that job everything I had, and they still let me go. Those are the moments I hear people say is life-changing for me. So much growth for me during that time. Those times where it's like I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and it still didn't work out the way that I thought it would. She still didn't come home. He still didn't come home. They still came and got the car. I'm just saying, if Jesus, before he went to the cross, could set joy in front of him, maybe we can do the same. In all of the stuff that's happening in our lives. See, there's these moments when you look back and you say, yeah, that's what life is all about. When Aiden was 2 years old, I took him very first time to Busch Gardens. They had this little water park area, this little splash pad, and in there, they had this arch, and you can see it in the background, and it was shooting water. And he got his bathing suit on, and he ran through that water right there. And after he ran through it, he stopped, and he clenched his fist, and he shouted out with joy and happiness, "Woo!" Because in his 2-year-old mind, this is what life is all about. Oh, and I got to capture it. When Kinsley was One. She had a pacifier, and we made the decision because we were like, we can't have Kinsley 20 years old with a pacifier. It's not good parenting. So her first night, putting her to bed without a pacifier, she cried and cried. And I went in to her room, and I picked her up, and I went to the couch, and I laid down, and I put her on my chest. And as she laid there falling asleep, I could hear her breathing. I could feel her heartbeat. And even after she fell asleep, I can remember I stayed on that couch for hours because I was like, I never want this to end. Our daughter Addison, she's 22. A couple years ago, she made the decision that she was going to move out. She had it all figured out. I remember her even saying, I think it would be so much cheaper if I moved out because we charged her $150 a month for rent. I don't know. It was like less than 3 months later, she moved back in. She realized, you know what? $150 a month's not too bad. Unlimited hot water for my showers on mom and dad's bill. Free snacks. And I remember that night, first day, that night she moved back in. And all three kids were at the house, and we weren't together. We weren't at the dinner table, but they were each up in their rooms doing their own thing. And I remember Julie and I, we were downstairs in the living room on the couch, and I was sitting on the couch. It's been almost 3 months since we were all together. Same place, under the same roof. And I remember sitting there thinking, as Julie and I were in the house with Addison, Aiden, and Kinsley, thinking to myself, this is what life is all about. Joy's all around us, friends. It's not always found in the big moments. It's not always found in the perfect moments. But often it's found in the ordinary moments where you have the revelation that I got more than I deserve. So my friends, my family of Fairlawn, may you see the joy in the little things. May every time you start to sing louder, you stop yourself. And may you never divide them and us. And may you never forget, oh, it's so much worse than that. We're all going to die. May you make the decision today to stop, be in the present, and notice the sacredness and the holiness, that joy is all around you. Grace and peace. I love you.